Bulking and Cutting Explained. What's up, guys? I am Brent with Henderson Fitness Coaching, and today we're going to talk about bulking and cutting. So for most people, you can just go to the gym, be healthy, be fit, gain a little muscle, lose a little bit of fat, and you'll be happy. But what if you are already fit and you've been lifting for a little while, or even if you're just new to lifting, but you want to be efficient and you want to spend your time in a way that makes sense for your results, and you want to maximize your results, then bulking and cutting might be for you. So what bulking and cutting is, basically bulking, so the best way to gain muscle is to be in a caloric surplus. You can gain muscle if you're not in a surplus. So if you're eating at a caloric maintenance, or even if you're in a deficit, losing weight, you can, but you are more likely to be able to do so if you're either new to the gym. So if you're gym noob, you can probably gain muscle while losing fat. If you're just coming off from a layoff, then you can probably gain some muscle while losing fat. If you just started some performance enhancing drugs, I think that is also possible. Not sure about that one though. And yeah, if none of those are true, you're probably best to bulk and cut if you want to maximize your results. So bulking, you want to basically be in a caloric surplus, and you're going to gain some fat and some muscle. So say your caloric maintenance is 3,000 calories. You can be in let's say 250 calorie surplus, and then you'll gain half a pound per week. And maybe like roughly half of that will be fat, roughly half will be muscle, depending on a bunch of factors, including your training age, how long you've been training, how good your diet is, how good your sleep is, and your genetics. But let's call it half muscle, half fat. So then you want to bulk. How long do you bulk? You generally want to bulk. Bulking is a slow process. Muscle gain is a slow process. You can't rush it, because if you try to eat too many calories, you're just going to gain extra fat. You might gain a little extra strength, maybe a little extra muscle, but the consensus seems to be that you're better off in a long, slow, controlled bulk. I'm finishing up a 16-week bulk, and it had 2 weeks of maintenance in there. So basically 14 weeks in a surplus. And I gained half a pound per week, so about 7 pounds total. And I'm hoping half of that is fat, half is muscle. So anyways, you bulk for, let's say, 16 weeks plus. You probably don't want to go much shorter than 16 weeks, just because, again, muscle gain is a slow process and takes a while. So bulk from anywhere to 16 weeks until you're too fat, like for your own good, and you don't like the way you look, or you're getting sluggish, or you're like unhealthily fat. Even if you like to stay lean, then maybe your bulks will be on the short end. So you bulk for a while, and then you cut. Cutting is dieting. Cutting is when you lose weight. So I'm going to do a 7-week cut. And yeah, I'll drop anywhere from 10 to 14 pounds total. Some of that will be water weight and all that. So say maybe like 10 pounds of fat. And that's on the fast end. You can cut slower than that if you want, but yeah, bulk for a while. You can cut for probably shorter than you bulk usually is the ideal, if you have this really, really down, because you're going to gain weight slowly, and you can cut, depending on a bunch of things, you can cut quickly or slowly. But you don't want to be cutting for like forever, unless you're doing a bodybuilding show or you have a lot of weight to lose. So that's cutting and bulking. What do you eat when you're bulking? I basically eat the same things when I'm bulking versus when I'm cutting, with some changes when you're bulking. So I bulk on 4,500 calories a day, because I'm pretty active. Gym 6 days a week. I bike to the gym sometimes, go for walks. So that has had me gaining only half a pound per week. It's 4,500 calories per day. So I personally mostly eat the same foods as when I'm dieting. I eat mostly clean foods, potatoes, oats, rice. I do rice when I'm bulking, not when I'm cutting, just because rice is less satiating than potatoes and oats. So those are my main carb sources, as well as fruits, apples, bananas, frozen blueberries, and fats. So obviously you're going to have more, well, maybe not obvious to you, but you're going to have more room for more fat when you're bulking. So fat sources I like are almonds, avocados, eggs, sometimes fatty meats like steak, ground beef, ground turkey, some fat and cottage cheese. Protein sources, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, eggs, egg whites, meat. I do chicken breasts, sometimes chicken thighs, but not as much. Tilapia, salmon, steak, ground turkey. So yeah, and then some protein powder after the gym in my smoothie. And macros, you want to keep your protein kind of the same as when you're bulking and cutting, although my protein actually tends to be higher when I'm bulking just because I'm eating more food. So protein around 1 gram per pound of body weight. So I'll give myself as an example. I'm about 207 right now pounds. I'm eating 4,500 calories a day, sometimes more, sometimes up to 5,000 actually, which is wild. So I've been doing like 220 grams of protein, 205 to 220. Carbs are like anywhere from 500 to 600, and fats usually around 100 to 120. So yeah, that's bulking. Cardio when you're bulking, I like to do a little bit just because cardio has other benefits other than weight loss. It's good for health. It's good, makes you feel good, and it can also help in the gym improve your work capacity. But don't overdo it on the cardio. I've just been doing 1 to 2 easy runs a week, like really easy, like 2 miles. It's super slow. And then I go for a walk every morning and then a walk most evenings. And I do bike to the gym sometimes as well, just a mile and a half there. So yeah, that's cardio. I like to do that year round. And then when I'm cutting, I will add in more cardio and reduce calories. We'll see how much I want to reduce the calories this time around with the cut. But I'm going to start with probably 4,000 calories, honestly, and then see where that gets me. That might be kind of around maintenance, and then I'll go down from there. And then training, you want to, a common thing is to reduce volume in a cut, reduce your training volume. So I'm doing 6 days a week right now, which is a lot. Some guys like to do 5. And when I cut, I will move it down to 4 days a week per jam of lifting per week. And I'll replace 2 of those gym days with cardio days. So I'll be doing cardio 3 days a week, running, and then gym 4 days a week. I might try 5. I've done 5 in the past, but we'll see. 4 to 5. So yeah, that's bulking and cutting. So once you get to a place where you're kind of happy with your body fat level, and you don't want to just cut, if you want to make more progress, definitely bulk and cut. And so I just finished up a 16-week bulk, and I'm going to be doing a 7-week cut after 1 week of maintenance. I don't think the week of maintenance is necessary. There are different thoughts on this, but I don't think the week of maintenance after a bulk and before a cut is necessarily necessary. But I do a deload week, and I like to do maintenance during the deload week. So I'll cut for 7 weeks. I'll do another week of maintenance, and then I'll go back to a 16-week bulk. I'll cut for I'll do maintenance for a week, cut for another 7 weeks, do maintenance, and then my plan is to do longer bulks since I'll be starting from a leaner place. So I'll do, I think, probably a 24-week bulk and then 7-week cut to cut off the fat, and then who knows, maybe another 24, even longer bulk, and then a shorter cut. So that's bulking and cutting. I think I've covered everything, well, all the basics at least. Yeah, your training shouldn't change much. Bulking versus cutting, other than perhaps adding some volume when you're bulking, because your body can just handle more, you can recover more. I actually find that I've been sleeping more from my bulk. So I actually don't know why that is, but that's interesting. And I'm still hungry during the bulk, which is also interesting. Certainly less so than during a diet, but I'll still wake up hungry at night sometimes, which is, again, interesting. I'm eating 4,500 calories and still hungry. So fast metabolism, I guess, here. That is bulking and cutting. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, bye.